Why do you wear two watches on both your wrists?
I have two wrists. So this is for health and wellness, and this is to principally tell the time and remind myself that you get great things through hard work.
Have your visits in India changed how you perceive marketing as for your company?
The marketing has become increasingly sophisticated.
Okay.
So today, all marketing is digital. It has to be targeted. It has to be relevant. It has to be ubiquitous. And it has to reach the right audiences in the right way.
What is the future trend, or what are some of the future trends that you're seeing in the industry?
On the demand slide, I see increasing awareness, demand generation, and a willingness and an openness among Indian consumers to be protected. The brand that's most committed to community, to healthier, longer, better lives, to sustainability, to giving back to the community, and to cherishing our customers and protecting the people of India.
Welcome to The Cover Story, a podcast by Tata AIA. Today, we have a very special guest with us, Stuart Spencer, who's the Group CMO of AIA. Stuart leads the marketing strategy for one of the world's largest life insurance companies. And today, we are here with him discussing about purpose-driven marketing and how his purpose of healthier, longer, better lives came into action. So, let's begin. Stuart, how are you doing?
Never better.
Never better.
It's great to be here.
To begin with, Stuart, I have a very interesting question for you. Why do you wear two watches on both your wrists?
I have two wrists.
Which is why?
This is why. So this is for health and wellness, and this is to principally tell the time and remind myself that you get great things through hard work.
That's a good start. Stuart, I want to know a little about your India experience so far. How has it been so far?
It's been magical. Yeah? I arrived last night. I went straight through passport control and immigration, got my bag immediately, was whisked away in a car, and got to my hotel in 30 minutes. So
was it the best airport experience?
It was the best airport experience I've ever had in India, and this is probably my 30th visit to India, and I've traveled all over the country. So it's wonderful to see the improvements in infrastructure, in efficiency, effectiveness, productivity. It's great. India is a country on the move, going places. So it's a place that always excites me, stimulates me, inspires me, a place I always miss and a place I long to return to.
Awesome. Has this been the best? What's been the best experience so far visiting India? Or rather, I'd rephrase the question: which is the best city that you like? And you have to say Mumbai.
No, actually not Mumbai. I have roots in Calcutta. My mom was raised in Calcutta.
Better.
Yeah. But I was in Delhi last year as well, and remarkable to see the infrastructural transformations in Delhi. Just a city that is really rising, really emerging, and represents this incredible pride, progress, momentum that I feel in India today. This great sense of anything can be accomplished, anything can be achieved. The power and collective potential of the Indian people is absolutely remarkable. I believe the 21st century is your century, and I believe that the way infrastructure, cities, and urban development is taking place, and some of the most beautiful airports I've ever seen architecturally in places like Calcutta, Delhi, and even here in Mumbai are incredible. But I love Rajasthan. I know that you're originally from Rajasthan.
Yeah.
Spent some time up in Jaipur many years ago, and I love the climate there. I love the desert. I love the architecture. In fact, there's so much to love about India. I was in Cochin as well. I love that part of the country. And I wish I had more time when I come to actually explore. It's a lot of the sort of airport, hotel, office triangle that I get stuck in. But I'm looking forward to going to Hyderabad tomorrow. It's been a while since I've been to Hyderabad.
Are you looking forward to the city? Are you looking forward to the food?
Everything. I'm looking forward to the entire experience. Looking forward to really continuing to communicate and articulate our message at Tata AIA, why we're different, why we're distinct, why we matter, but also to connect with the people and to inspire and motivate our people to do great things for our customers, which is at the epicenter of why we exist, to enable healthier, longer, better lives, to improve the living standards and quality of life for the people in the countries where we do business, and to contribute to nation building. As India rises and as India's unstoppable ascent continues, we want to be part of that. We want to be fueling that. We want to be enabling that. We want to be protecting that. And We have a massive protection gap in India, the gap being the insurance coverage Indians possess versus the insurance coverage Indians need. We want to make sure that the pace of economic and social development is in line with how quickly the industry can respond to make sure people are protected, that people have that vital safety net, that futures, dreams, aspirations, families, goals are all very elegantly and intelligently protected by our industry. And we believe Tata AIA is at the forefront of our industry. In terms of professionalism, excellence, customer focus, brand, I really believe that we're in a very commanding position. It's a privilege to be here and to be part of this broader Tata AIA organization.
Interesting. And I essentially want to kick off the conversation where you mentioned that you've been visiting India for a couple of years now, and it's your 30th visit. I want to pick off from there. Have your visits in India changed how you perceive marketing as for your company?
The marketing has become increasingly sophisticated.
Okay.
So today, all marketing is digital. Saying that we do digital marketing is almost redundant. So all Indians are on their device, their mobile device. So everything has to be mobile first, mobile ready, and everything has to be slick. It has to be personalized. It has to be targeted. It has to be relevant. It has to be ubiquitous. And it has to reach the right audiences in the right way. So crafting the right messages, enabling those messages to go through the right channels to resonate with the people who we want our customers to be of tomorrow and our customers of today is critical. And as we see the advent of AI, the team at Tata AIA has done a remarkable job of leveraging AI to drive hyper-personalization, to drive incredible content development, to aid and abet greater levels of segmentation, and also drive tremendous insights through data and analytics, through the consolidation of information that's so rapidly analyzed and assessed so that we can infer great actionable insights from that. So AI is revolutionizing marketing like it's revolutionizing everything. But I give tremendous credit to the team here for being really first adopters, for really seeing and recognizing the power and potential before I think many other players. And this company is nimble and agile and empowered enough for people to experiment, test, learn, do new things, do things differently. It's part of our culture. Do the right thing in the right way with the right people, and the results will come. And I see that epitomized with my colleagues here at Tata AIA.
And that's interesting because, like you mentioned, it's about doing the right thing at the right time, at the right place, with the right set of people. My question, or say a follow-up to that, would be the number of times you visited India. How has that transformed or changed your perspective of marketing or devising your marketing, or say when we talk about purpose-driven marketing, from the real-life company to healthier, longer, better lives? How did this shift come about?
That's a great question. I rejoined AIA 8 years ago after an 8-year hiatus, but having spent 13 years prior. And when I rejoined, the brand tagline, if you will, was the real life company. And I never really understood what it meant. And when I took over the role of Group Chief Marketing Officer, I wanted to dig deeper and understand, do our customers understand? Does the market understand? And does this accurately and persuasively represent who we are, what we do, and why we matter? And the more I dug into it, the more I recognized and learned that in English, the real life company is a play on words. So the real life company was mostly understood to be all other life insurance companies are fake, but AIA is the real life company. Whereas I think my predecessors had tried to convey a message that life has ups and downs, and real life has high points and low points. But we're there with and for you throughout all of life's trials and tribulations, which was much more a statement about who we thought we were versus what it is we exist to do. And that's really where the impetus for purpose became, where we recognized it would be much more powerful to state a very clear and unambiguous, unadulterated articulation of the reason that we exist. And we exist as a life and health and wellness provider, principally to help our customers live healthier, longer, and better lives. And that's indisputable, it's unassailable, but it's also incredibly powerful. And at that time, nobody in our industry was focusing on really a clear articulation of purpose and or the convergence of life, health, and wellness, that incredible triangulation. Plus, the overarching narrative in our industry is about death, consequences, fear, fire and brimstone. The amount of creative I've seen that scares people into buying insurance is pretty much the standard. And we've turned that on its head. We have literally flipped the narrative on insurance to focus on life, health, living, vitality, positivity, optimism, and healthier, longer, and better lives. So the research that we did corroborated that our customers and the market actually saw us as a credible enabler of healthier, longer, better lives. And anecdotally, the CEO at that time, Keng Hui, was ultimately convinced that we needed to shift from the real life company to healthier, longer, better lives. But we're going to stand for this, and everything we do, Deepak, everything we do has to deliver, has to enable, has to realize a legitimate, credible, sustainable, healthier, longer, better lives. So I come to India, and the overarching industry backdrop to healthier, longer, better lives is if you're a life, health, and wellness provider, you're in the mortality and morbidity business.
Correct.
Right? That's why these are the products that we sell: life insurance, health insurance. So imagine if the prevalence of lifestyle diseases, non-communicable diseases, is everywhere. In India, 80-90% of all disease diagnoses today are lifestyle related. I talk about countries getting wealthier but not healthier, right? The diabetes epidemic in India is astronomical. So as India develops and as India becomes more affluent, people enjoy their lives and their diets change, and we see multiple risk factors of smoking, drinking, pollution, stress, not enough exercise, poor diet, as conspiring to create cancer, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, hypertension. So if you're in my business, diabetes, heart attack, stroke, hypertension, and all of these risk factors are a very real deal. So as an insurer, what are we supposed to do? Do we sit on the sidelines and hope somehow that our customers learn better habits, adopt better behaviors? Or do we find ways to actively engage, intrude, connect, shift, and drive behavioral change? If you ask me what business I'm in, I think I'm in more of a behavioral change business than anything else. We have to vitally, as an industry, help people, particularly in this country, where the numbers are very, very concerning, to change behavior, to be more active, to make better choices, and to find ways to alleviate stress, to find ways to provide more balance, and to ultimately make sure that your lifespan and your health span are as aligned as possible. Lifespan is how long you're going to live. Health span is how long you'll live healthily. So you don't want a 20-year gap between your lifespan and your health span. You don't want the last 20 years of your life to be in and out of clinics and hospitals. So I am very passionate and very focused on trying to get the word out that it is essential that we as humanity, particularly in Asia, adopt healthier habits that are more sustainable. So drive behavioral change, The behavioral change drives consistent, sustained habit formation so that ultimately we live longer. Now, the ideal is that there is wealth accumulation because we're also in the long-term savings business, and insurance is synonymous with long-term wealth sustainability. But you want wealth and health. You want to live longer so you can enjoy your wealth.
Sure.
Right? And that you can live longer and have a legacy plan for your descendants and so on and so forth. And so we are no longer sitting on the sidelines. Certainly at AIA, we are leading the industry, Tata AIA leading the industry. And AIA Vitality and Vitality that we have here in India is the ultimate toolkit, the ultimate structured wellness program to lead a healthier, longer, and better life. The more of our customers that will engage in the program and be rewarded with better health outcomes, the better. And what Vitality delivers is both a clinical as well as a commercial impact. Clinical, reducing your BMI, your HbA1c, your LDL, right? So your body mass, your blood sugar, your bad cholesterol. As an insurer, we want these to come down. And if they come down, we're going to reward you. We want healthy customers. So we call this shared value. If you take better care of yourself, Tata AIA will take better care of you. It's in your best interest, the company's best interest. It's also in the nation's interest, so that the overarching disease burden for government reduces over time. So why should we price all of our insurance products the same when people have different behaviors? We have healthy people, we have unhealthy people. We have people who exercise and people who don't. So the people who take better care of themselves become less risky to us. So we want to reward them with better pricing on our products.
Got it.
That's ultimately how this works. Now, in India today, we are really at the embryonic stages of being able to do this. But the future of the industry is going to hinge on who cracks the code on the convergence of life, health, and wellness. We have some products that are borderline,
Correct.
but they are not true-blooded, health products that hopefully in the future we'll be able to sell here. And then I think we'll be very, very well positioned to even more so protect the people of this great nation, which is what we must do. Have you seen this among your own friends and family? Is what I'm saying resonating with you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think what you've essentially answered primarily covers the entire podcast. So I think we can just shut our cameras and go back. But I think in terms of just having understood, there are a couple of touch points that I want to touch on. One is, did you come up with the tagline yourself, or was there a team involved?
So here's what I'm going to say to you, and I love you to death, but I never want you to call it a tagline.
Okay.
Because a tagline sounds like it's a marketing gimmick, whereas this is a solemn purpose for a massive enterprise.
All right.
Everything truly that we do as an organization, how we deploy capital, what lines of business we thrive, how we align our distribution, how we present ourselves to the investor community, is all around our purpose. And I believe as well, that there's no other enterprise in our industry that is doing as much as we are to drive social change. We see it as a responsibility and an obligation to improve living standards and improve quality of life. Life and health insurance is a people business. We're not insuring cars and motorcycles and apartment buildings. That's what the general insurance, the P&C guys do. We're about people. We're about lives. We're about dreams, futures, peace of mind, legacy, and health and wellness. And so our purpose is profound. And I would challenge you, go anywhere AIA. In last week, I was in New Zealand and Australia. Week before that, I was in Cambodia. I'm in India this week. Everyone across our company knows that our purpose is healthier, longer, and better lives. Now, here in India, we're a joint venture. And again, because we don't have a composite license yet, we've determined that we're not going to emphasize the health piece as much as the life piece, right?
Yeah.
So that's sort of the orientation that we are taking here. And it's been very powerful. And I think over time, I'm confident that we will have a composite license.
Awesome. Another touch point that I have, Stuart, is you mentioned that you've traveled all across the world, and since the purpose now is very clear for AIA, which is healthier, longer, and better lives. Um, how is it, or say, what kind of changes do you see that India should be making in terms of living a healthier, longer, better life? What are the behavioral changes you're aspiring that India takes so that they become or they lead a healthier lifestyle going forward? Sure, one thing is covering wealth, which is becoming a wealth-driven nation,
Hmm.
but the other is living a healthier lifespan. So you
Sure.
mentioned decreasing the gap between the health span
So
and the
Deepak, it's
lifespan.
all about dealing with the risk factors, and
Yep.
I've named six. So one is poor diet. So really heightening education on making healthy choices and having more healthy foods available and more economical. We find in so many places people refrain from adopting a healthy diet because they think it's just too expensive. And that's a misconception, right? So healthy diet, lack of exercise. So I just walk, walk a few steps a day, you know, and walk the flight of steps between one floor and another in a building. Find ways to be more active.
Mm.
If Indians as a nation don't change eating habits and don't get more active, the implications are dire. And I'm not just being a drama queen. This is empirical, actuarial, statistical, unassailable data that points to massive disease burden on society. It will drain productivity and pace of development for the country.
Mm-hmm.
So improve diet, improve mobility and activity. Then we have drinking and smoking. So I see a lot less people smoking in India today than I did years and years ago. So educating the Indian population on making right choices, reduction of alcohol consumption, stopping smoking, getting more active, and then ultimately stress. The people I know in this country are hardworking and long commutes
Mm-hmm.
and juggling family and juggling work. And I know that's stressful, but finding ways, spiritual, musical, ways to reduce stress, family, find avenues to get outlets, be more conscious, be more aware of longevity and health span and lifespan. And this is part of the education that we're trying to convey. This is part of the communication that we're trying to convey. That's what this podcast is designed to
Absolutely.
do, right?
Absolutely.
Like if this podcast changes the lives of a handful of people who go, wow, I get it now. I'm going to make real change in my life. Then I feel we will have succeeded. And that's really the genesis of AIA's massive Rethink Healthy initiative, which you may have seen, which I'm so proud of, which is taking a stand against social media's very narrow depiction of what healthy looks like. The Adonis, the six-pack, the gym at 6 a.m. People look at that and they're intimidated, they're afraid, and they are deterred from doing anything healthy. But they don't realize that so much of what they're currently doing today is really healthy. Reading a bedtime story to your daughter, healthy. Taking the dog out for a walk, healthy. Reading a good book, healthy. Listening to Spotify, healthy. But we give ourselves no credit for it because social media says that's not healthy, only that's healthy. And so Rethink Healthy is taking a stand. In a way, it's an act of defiance of our entire category, because insurance kind of, we depict health as an industry in these very cliche photographs of mom and dad holding hands in the park with a little kid running on the grass, and everyone's happy and everyone's got protection, and it's all so cliche. It's not real life. It's not, how people on a day-to-day basis have to get by. So we're trying to inject a dose of reality and actually a dose of defiance that we believe, if we want to engage a billion people, which is our task, our AIA 1 billion, to lead healthier, longer, better lives by 2030. And we're at 496 million people, unique individuals engaged, 500,000 people to go. If people see depictions of health as unachievable, unattainable, and too intimidating, they'll be deterred from even embarking on a personal journey of health and wellness. So Rethink Healthy is designed to unlock, unleash, and liberate people to be more willing to embark on those journeys.
And I'm glad you sort of brought it up, because we see a lot of posters and designs saying that, hey, the mother and the father are walking in a park, and there's the kid that's running, and then there's grass, and then there's skies, and then you're like, oh, what a depiction.
I don't know anyone whose life is like that. Seriously. So we have to be realistic.
Yeah.
As an industry, we have to understand our customers better.
And I'm glad you as a company, which is AIA, or for that matter, Tata AIA in India, are taking steps to really redefine their marketing strategies and redefine what goes out on social, because like you mentioned, reading a comic to your daughter at night is healthy, or tuning
That's
in on
right.
Spotify is healthy, or maybe just to add to that, not using your mobile phone 1 hour prior to sleep
That's right.
and 1 hour after you wake up
Yep.
is healthy.
And it's good that you mentioned sleep, because India is one of the most sleep deprived nations on the planet. And we've had an effort called #1 more hour.
Unfortunately, we take pride in that.
I know, because of the societal conventions that associate lack of sleep as tantamount to hard work and
Yeah,
productivity,
yeah.
when actually you're just running yourself into the ground. And changing those mindsets and cultural conventions is never going to be easy. But you and I both know, if sleeping 5 hours versus sleeping 8 hours, your day is going to be completely different. Your mind, your acuity, your sharpness, your lucidity is going to be completely different if you get more sleep.
Absolutely.
So the performance impact of more sleep is critical.
Absolutely.
So I'd encourage Indians to sleep more
Yeah.
as well.
All right, guys, shut the cameras. We're going off.
Take
to
a
sleep.
nap.
Take a nap. Come back after an hour. We'll resume from here.
But giving people, but honestly, people need to feel that they have permission to do this.
Yeah.
I think the social pressures, to work late and to stay up late and to even work from home late, is making the stress levels in this country pretty acute. So that's another issue. I mean, as part of this incredible momentum of development that you're seeing, driven by so much hard work and industriousness of the people, that comes with consequences as well.
I mean, I'm glad you bring this up, because sleep essentially is at the forefront of every single thing you do
Yep.
during the day.
Yep.
And it also boils down to not just the number of hours, but the time duration at which you sleep. So if you from 11 to 7 versus say like a 3 a.m. to a 10 a.m. sleep is
Right.
totally different.
Right.
The circadian rhythm goes for a toss, and all of
That's
it
right.
comes into action. But I want to quickly jump into
Okay.
the role of insurers, and like you mentioned,
Yep.
in terms of you being a people-facing business, and you're talking about insuring lives of people,
Yep.
and it's a real scenario.
Yep.
A lot of times insurance is seen as pretty much transactional. It's like a pretty much give and take kind of a scenario. So how do you think that AIA is playing a role in redefining that narrative?
Yeah, you're right. Insurance has been seen more of a grudge purchase.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really want it, but I suppose I better have it.
Yeah.
And we say that insurance is sold, not bought.
Yeah.
That we need to make the case.
Yeah.
And in so many of our markets across AIA, that the insurance industry as a whole is young, is new, building demand and building the educational base so that people recognize the need. So demand generation, why would I need this in the first place, is a huge piece of work. And that remains here in India. So we need to sensitize people to the need, but we need to do it in a way that doesn't scare them into buying and isn't focused purely on consequences of not buying.
Why is it that people buy insurance too late in the country, or what is it that people are scared of? And I want to talk about, like, this is the basic crux of insurance, right? Like, people are not buying insurance, people are buying it too late, or people are scared.
Part of it is the whole issue of risk transfer, which many people see culturally as something for nothing. I pay you premiums, but what do I get for it? What you get is risk transfer. Your life is covered, your future, your family, your descendants are covered, peace of mind. That may be hard for some people to accept. If I pay you something, in a way, think about it. You're paying an insurer for a product that you as the insured, if it's a life insurance product, you will never use yourself. You're not going to reap the benefit. This is why life insurance, in my opinion, is an act of love. And as an industry, we need to do a better job to talk about love, because it is foresight and it is preparedness for those who I love to live their lives uninterrupted at the same standard, if not higher, than if I was still alive. Recognizing I'm not going to be here forever. And I may go before I expect to go. So making sure that your loved ones are protected, are cared for, that their quality of life in no way diminishes in my absence, is a noble, powerful, emotional, spiritual act of love. And as an industry, that's really what we're doing more
If
than
you had
anything
to-
else.
If you had to change the narrative by saying just one statement for the Indian consumers out here that, hey, this is what happens and this is why you should buy insurance.
So buying life insurance is the ultimate example, is the ultimate proof point of how much you love the people who are closest to you.
I think that summarizes the entire purpose that you have for healthier, longer, better lives. Interesting. You mentioned a couple of minutes back that the protection gap, it's not just about providing protection, it's about really getting involved in customers, and pretty much why you visited the country so many times and you've seen infrastructural and behavioral changes. Like you mentioned, a lot of people are walking on the streets now, less people who are smoking these days, but a lot of people still drinking at this point. So you've seen a lot of changes happening. How do you go as a company, as an insurance company, how do you go from just providing protection to actually getting involved in the customer's well-being? What are some of the specific steps, if you could say narrate an incident or an anecdote that you might get, that you might have from the company? How do you essentially ensure the well-being of the customers and go beyond just protection?
Sure. Well, our industry traditionally is disengaged from customers.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Because we don't touch our customers. We don't communicate with our customers as an industry. I'm not talking about AIA, but we send you your premium bill once a year and you pay it.
That's it.
That's it. But in terms of actively communicating with you, shaping your behavior, better understanding your needs, gaps, and how we can provide a greater blanket of care and protection, as an industry, traditionally, we've not done a good job of that. Digitalization has changed this. But also, we didn't do a great job of that because the industry's been traditionally intermediated. Right? So we have agents, we have third parties that represent the company who touch the lives of the customer more closely than perhaps the enterprise does itself. But as I said, digitalization is now democratizing access to customers.
Correct.
And so customers expect and believe that they too will get an interface with Tata AIA through an application, through email, WhatsApp, etc. So the company has built an array of platforms that will drive engagement, interaction, nudging, communication, so that we are actually involved and become more indispensable in people's lives. And so in so doing, we can better shape behavior. We can shape perceptions. We can educate. We can drive high levels of NPS. We can get more of our customers to recommend us to family and friends. We can generate and build more demand. And in so doing, we can protect more people in India who are now going to be new to the category of insurance, who are accumulating assets, who have dependents, who now realize, you know what? Actually, I probably do need this, and now's the time. So look, Deepak, it's a slow burn. We've been in this country only 25 years. This nation and this civilization goes back thousands of years, right? So in the next 15, 20 years, the government of India has said, look, we want to make sure there's a proliferation of protection across India. We want all Indians to be protected.
Correct.
So government understands the power of protection, the need for all Indians to have a safety net so that nobody's left destitute. No widow is cast out and destitute with no way to provide for herself and her kids if the sole breadwinner has passed away.
Correct.
We want these horror stories to be in the past, particularly in rural areas. Less education, less access to healthcare, all of that kind of stuff. The industry needs to be not just in the big cities, but capturing growth in the rural areas to drive greater levels of financial inclusion. And I believe that we have a real responsibility to do that, particularly in a country like India, where so many lives and families and households teeter on that paycheck to paycheck, month to month existence. We want people to have the confidence, the peace of mind. They can pursue whatever their lives are, their dreams, and not have to worry should the unforeseen take place.
So how do you, again, I'll prompt you here, you could do, say, reach out to your customers apart from the annual premium bill that you guys send out. But apart from that, if you send a lot of messages, or if you say spam them with messages in terms of getting some behavioral insight from customers, have you ever gotten this from your customer base that, hey, AI is being too spammy about their messages, or they get so many messages on a daily
I mean,
basis?
we
Stop
probably,
it.
invariably, we probably have.
Okay.
But I think as we all embark on this new digital journey, but Deepak, I think our goal is to find the right balance, the right harmony of communication so that our messages, the content that we send is relevant, it's timely, makes sense, complements the dialogue that our customers are having with their agents. We get millions of visits to our website every year. Many of those visitors are our existing customers. So we are able to tag, monitor, track. We're able to let our agents know that their customers are looking at our products, and that prompts them then to
Correct.
reach out and engage.
Correct.
So we're using the technology to make sure that those feedback loops, those communication loops, are very well sort of locked and loaded. And that's something that we weren't able to do 5 years ago. The marketing team here at Tata AIA, very sophisticated, using deep insights and analytics so that we're much more strategic about how we're communicating, when we're communicating, what we're communicating. So we're not inundating our customers with a lot of, as you say,
Because that's
spam.
important.
So it's finding that balance. And it's also complementing, as I said, the messages and incredible sacrifices that our agents make on behalf of our customers.
Right.
So I call it a love triangle. You've got Tata AIA, you've got the customer, you've got the agent, and that all has to work in harmony. We all have to support each other, and we all have to be making each other aware of what we want, what we need, and when we need it.
Absolutely. And that brings me to another interesting topic, which
Okay.
is because you have a lot of customers essentially that you guys cater to. And you mentioned in a couple of minutes back as well that it's very difficult to sort of cater to every customer, but then you guys really have personalized it in terms of the solution. So do you mind taking 2 minutes and talking about the personalization that you guys are focusing on essentially for customer solutions? How do you personalize it for so many customers? Because every customer might have different needs, different preferences, different behavioral patterns, and they might respond to certain things differently. So how do you make sure that you personalize, say, your plans or your policies to your different set of customers?
I really don't mind. So
Okay.
that's the first thing. I don't mind going
Okay.
into it. Look, understanding, protecting, engaging, and delighting. Those are again the 4 dimensions of our relationships with our customers. Again, understanding, engaging, protecting, and delighting. It all starts with the data.
Okay.
The data. If anyone tells you anything else, they're lying to you. So the richness, the quality, the depth of data is it's like trying to make bread without flour. You must have the data, that customer data. You must be capturing customer data. Our own data, first party data, second party, and then third party. So that you can build the richest, most holistic data profile of your customer.
Okay.
And you're able to then look at psychographic, demographic, behavioral, browsing, history and behaviors so that you can build an accurate, relevant, real-time picture and persona of your customer, or even better, of your prospect. Somebody who's not your customer, but you can still accumulate information about that person. And so using and harvesting and capturing all of that information and then driving, quote unquote, those actionable insights so that we can then predict your next move, so that we can deliver relevant content, that we can communicate in a way that's unobtrusive, so that we can be value added and relevant and there for our customers through intelligence, through information, as opposed to guessing, supposing, hoping. Right? So the degree of intelligence that we possess today is of a magnitude greater than it was even 2 years ago with the advent of AI.
Got it.
Right? And this is going to continue. This is going to accelerate. So whoever has a culture of data capture, data richness, data adoration is going to win. It's respecting the information and boosting that information with whatever sources you can find so that you have the biggest, most comprehensive view of that customer.
Got it.
Customers need to believe that we understand them. Customers tell us all the time, show me you understand me. Show me that you see me as an individual. Show me that you see me not as just a number in the pack, that you get me, that you want me, that you need me, that you love me.
Are there any specific questions that you ask to get to know the customer a little better?
So we do a tremendous amount of research, right?
Could you like
But even
give us
the
a
basic
brief?
one, NPS.
Okay.
That's basic. Would you recommend us? At the end of the day, to family and friends, would you recommend us? And we've just concluded a massive amount of research on vitality,
Okay.
on our consumer, on our customers. How do you use it? How could it be better? How could we drive better behavioral change? What are the features that could be improved? All this kind of stuff. So we're constantly asking about how our customers are feeling about our service delivery, the quality of our products. Did the product that you bought from us meet your needs? Because we have life insurance, which is mortality, but we also sell a lot of health insurance,
Correct.
which have living benefits. So was your journey through the medical infrastructure, was it a smooth journey? Was your experience good? All of the apps that we have, how is the user interface? How is the user experience? Is the app easy to navigate? Did you find what you were looking for? So we're constantly asking the right questions so that we can improve.
Got it.
We know, if you look at our AIA lockup, there's a sort of a mountain. You've probably seen it, like a red circle mountain.
Yeah.
And there's some debate, like which mountain is it? The Matterhorn? Is it Mount Everest? I don't even know. But my point really is, you never reach the top of the mountain. You keep climbing. The summit will always be elusive as you strive to improve, as you strive to do better, think better, be better, deliver better.
Interesting. And which is why they say the journey is much better than the destination. Awesome. Stuart, insights so far has been tremendous.
I've had a great time.
Yeah?
It's a lot of fun. Thank you.
I'm glad. I want to break the monotony and break
It's no monotony.
the serious side of questions to
Okay.
pick your brains
Sure.
into something light.
Go ahead.
So I have a couple of rapid fire questions.
Okay.
And I
How quickly do I have to respond to the rapid fire?
as quick as you can.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
We'll get on to the rapid fire. I have a couple of questions. I might add a couple of questions which you will never know.
Please.
So we'll get to it. So rapid fire. If not marketing, what would you be doing?
I'd be a comedian.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Getting
Yeah.
people to laugh I enjoy that.
One book or podcast every marketer should check out.
Look, marketers should be well-rounded and should be. If marketers are spending all their time reading books on marketing, I think it's a mistake, right? So, reading great fiction. I just finished reading Richard Flanagan's The Narrow Road to the Deep North, which was masterful. It's a masterpiece.
Okay.
It won the Man Booker Prize a few years ago. It was recommended by a friend. It's his use of the English language is just beautiful.
Okay.
And I think marketers must be great communicators. So reading and enriching vocabulary and mastering language and understanding human psychology, I think is essential. So reading books on price, product, promotion, don't bother reading textbooks. Get enrichment through life in general. Be clued into the world is what I would tell marketers. I think marketing is acquiring and retaining customers through common sense.
Which
At
is
the end of the
pretty
day,
much a lot.
at the end of the day, which is, I guess, the least most common sensible, right?
The most uncommon thing.
There you go.
What's your most favorite drink to have?
Masala tea.
How do you prepare? Have you made masala tea ever?
No, there's a mix. I mean, you can get mix, and you
Okay.
can put some more cardamom in and make it spicier. But when I come to India, the guys know. Get me a catheter, and just keep me plugged in all day long on masala tea.
All right.
This tea's cold already. I'm anxious for some more masala tea.
Can we get a bottle
Either
of
that.
masala tea, please? All right. Moving on. Romantic, action, or comedy movies. What's your genre? What do you enjoy the most?
Romance. My wife calls me Mr. Romance.
Anyway, one thing about India that fascinates you.
Music and architecture, and language. I'd love to learn a few words of Hindi. And I'm just fascinated by the architecture, the Mughal architecture, the colonial architecture, just the historic landmark heritage the buildings that we have here, even in Mumbai, is just remarkable. And I play guitar, and I'd love to learn a little bit of the sitar.
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
interesting. And the last question is, what comes to your mind when I say Tata AIA?
Excellence in every conceivable way. The brand that's most committed to community, to healthier, longer, better lives, to sustainability, to giving back to the community, and to cherishing our customers and protecting the people of India.
Got it. Well, Stuart, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting
Pleasure's
with
mine.
you.
Thank you.
And there's a last question that I have, and we'll end with that. What is the future trend, or what are some of the future trends that you're seeing in the industry? Because you mentioned that in our conversation earlier as well, that there is a lot of gap between the customers and the industry per se, not the company, but the industry per se. So there's not a lot of connect there. Where do you see future trends going? What's some of the things that we can expect going forward?
Great question. Look, on the demand slide, I see increasing awareness, demand generation, and a willingness and an openness among Indian consumers to be protected. I think that's good news. I think the industry and government have a role to play, and I see there being strong collaboration and partnership to do that. On the supply side, the industry will become increasingly sophisticated, using marketing technologies, artificial intelligence to drive the right content, the right hyper-personalization, the right relevant communications to make insurance understandable, digestible, believable, and valuable. And this is all good for the future of India.
All right. I think that's about it. We've heard it from the group CMO himself about what the future trend of insurance could look like and the industry could look like. So thank you so much, Stuart, for taking out time and visiting India.
It's been a real pleasure.
I hope you had a good conversation.
It's been great.
For the outro, I would want you to say, I'll teach you a line in Hindi because you said the language fascinates you.
Okay.
And you could do the outro in Hindi yourself on the master camera.
Okay.
Right? You could say, ye video dekhiye. Say, ye video dekhiye.
ये वीडियो देखे
मैं आशा करता हूँ
मैं आशा करता हूँ
कि आपको ये वीडियो
कि आपको ये वीडियो
अच्छा लगा.
अच्छा लगा.
Subscribe to Tata AIA.
Subscribe to Tata AIA.
Thank you so much, guys. This has been wonderful. Stuart has been such a sport, and I've loved every bit of this conversation. If you've liked the conversation, if you have any particular questions, or if you want multiple parts of it, please put down in the comment section. You know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.